Hey everybody, I just wanted to pop in real quick and talk about the tributary submission and sort of get into my own experience submitting to tributaries and what that was like for me and getting published and not getting published and just the whole process and kind of what to expect. So instructions will be on the page for where to go and how to submit, but what I think want to leave here is that this is such a valuable experience, especially, at least for me, college was the first time taking myself seriously. I think I had always been writing and submitting things for high school classes, but I don't think it felt like it would move beyond a hobby at those places. It was just fun. I enjoyed it. I got good feedback, but it kind of stopped there. So I think the first time I took a course that required at least one story submission was a creative nonfiction piece, and I was very nervous the first time I had to submit. Not the actual just process of, okay, uploading it, submitting it, there it goes, but just that I had to say, okay, this story is done and it's ready to go, because I don't think I'd ever done that before, and I kind of used that as a scapegoat to not find out, I think, how a story was going to do, because when it's in the process of being worked on or being edited and revised, I think I always had the fallback of, oh, I'm still working on this. And I think we're always working, you're always editing, and you always want to see where you can take a story. But I think I was starting to, I'm still working on this, then it would disappear in a desk drawer. It would become a file on my computer that I didn't want to open, because I didn't want to face that this is at a point where it's time to go and see what this can become and what people think about it. So it's a good push, and it's a good experience, because if you get published, it feels great. It feels great to get the email that says, we liked your story, we want to publish it. You get copies sent. Here's the three this was 2020, 2021, and 2022. So they all have a piece of artwork from, it's a student artwork, because this is a collection of like creative works. That one was really beautiful. That was the first one. I think that was the most exciting, just because it was the first time I saw my name like on a published piece, and there's a commentary about my story, because that was the year that I won that section. So they have the categories, and then they'll pick two winners, from a winner and a runner-up for each category, and then they'll have a commentary on it. So that was really exciting. And I've submitted stories that didn't get accepted, and I think that was a good learning process for me too, that's okay when that happens. I think that's a fear that I think is common with writers, especially new writers. You don't want to be rejected. You don't want to hear that, all this work you put in, or this story that you feel came from your heart, it seems like it's saying that it's not good enough, and I think this helped me realize that's not what's going on. It's taste. It's maybe this needs more workshopping. Maybe this group of editors were looking for a different direction, and this student fulfilled it. And you get the whole book when you're published. So, I get to read different students, different writers from my generation of, who's up and coming, and see where they're at and what can I take from them and what do I like from their writing. So it's just all around a really good experience, rejected or accepted. So I would encourage you to just view it as a growing experience, and not as a test of, are you a good writer or not. I definitely think that's where I was looking at it and going into it. That was my thought process, and that's why I hadn't participated before classes. They have story contests for different magazines, different reviews, anthologies throughout the year, and I would look at them, I would Google them and say, okay, I need to set my schedule so I can participate in this. But when the time came, I would shy away from it, just going back to that fear of, oh, I don't want to find out that the only thing that I really love doing and my passion and my hobby, people don't like it, or, but you have to come to an understanding of writing is an art. So someone might read your story and love it, they'll remember it for years, and somebody else might read it and not like it at all. And that's okay. It's, at the end of the day, it's your story. You put the work into it. You decided when it was finished, and then you have to let it go. So I think that was the best experience for me. Getting published is exciting. It's great. It's wonderful to get published, to be selected. It's a great feeling, but that isn't the only opportunity here for growth and for experience. I just want you to keep that in mind as you're sending them out, because I got one creative nonfiction piece my first year, another creative nonfiction piece my second year, and then 2 of my fiction pieces in my final fiction course. But none of my 2 that were published in the final copy of my last year, none of them won. So you have to just take that into perspective. And I submitted a lot more than what was published. So love your stories and send them out and see what happens. But look more at what experience and growth can I have here. It's just what I would want you to keep in mind. And keep in mind that you can submit more than one. One's required for the grade, but they accept submissions all year in any category. So if you like to write poetry and you've been working on one this year and you want to see how it does, submit it. If you are an artist, a visual artist, submit a piece. Just have fun with it, Don't stop seeing where your art goes in your craft. And let me know if you have any questions. And again, just enjoy the experience.